Parshat Vayigash. Okay, the last thing that happened was that Yosef had Binyamin basically arrested for stealing, and I say that with air quotes because he didn't steal it; he was framed for stealing, but for stealing his Yosef's silver goblet. And Yehuda is the one who takes responsibility because he is the one who made the guarantee to Yaakov about bringing him back. So here we go, Parshat Vayigash. Vayigash elav Yehuda, and Yehuda approached him, Vayomer, and he said, Bi Adoni, with me, my master. That's just a way of asking permission, basically, to, even be in the presence of this person. Like, give me a minute, give me a moment to present myself. Yedaber na avdecha, let your servant speak. Now, who's your servant over here? Yehuda is talking about himself, right? We spoke about this many times, that when you were speaking to someone who was a royal person, you would speak in the third person. So you would say, let your servant, talking about yourself, speak to you, right? Davar, a word or a matter, right? Let me say something. Be'oznei Adoni, in the ears of my master. Ve'al yichar apcha, and do not get angry. Yichar apcha, af. An af is a nose, and ve'al yichar apcha shouldn't flare up. Your nose shouldn't flare up. So sometimes when people get angry, their nose starts. You ever see a cartoon maybe with like a bull, and you see the bull starting to get angry, and the nose flares up. So that's why it's called charon af. When you get angry, it's called your nose is flaring up. Okay. So Yehuda says, don't get angry, be'avdecha, with your servant, ki chamocha ki paro, because you are like Paro. Now, here we have a couple things to talk about. So Yehuda comes to Yosef, and he says, let me speak to you about something, and don't get angry with what I'm going to say. So Rashi has, I think, a really, really, such a great comment here about don't get angry. Look over here. Va'al yichar abcha, and don't get angry. Mikan, from here we see, Mikan talamed, from here you learn, right? Lamed mem daled. Shediber elav kashot. Kashot, we've had that word before. Remember what it means? It means harshly. Right? From here we see that Yehuda spoke to Yosef harshly. How do we see that? Don't get angry with your servant. How do we see that? So, have you ever heard the phrase, no offense, but, and then somebody says something, right? Nobody ever says something after they say no offense, like, no offense, but I like eating ice cream, because nobody would be offended because you like eating ice cream. So when you say no offense, usually the next thing that comes is something that would normally offend somebody. So obviously, when Yehuda turns to Yosef and says, don't get angry, don't get angry with your servant, he's about to say something that could make Yosef angry. So Rashi says, what you see from here is that Yehuda was going to speak to Yosef in a very harsh tone. He was going to be he was going to be very angry with him. How could you be doing this to us? And because he's going to be speaking with a harsh tone in defending his brother Binyamin, he's asking Yosef, don't get angry at me. Right? Now, why would Yosef think that it's okay? Why would Yosef agree not to get angry? Well, the answer could be that maybe he's hoping that Yosef would understand brotherly love. That I'm the brother of Binyamin. Yehuda would say to him, so I'm Binyamin's brother, and I love him. And if I get upset and angry now when I'm talking to you, Yosef, again, he doesn't know it's Yosef. When I'm talking to you about my brother Binyamin, don't take it out against me. It's just because I love him so much that I might be getting a little bit angry when I talk and get a little bit emotional. But I actually respect you, and that's why the next Rashi over here are the last words, Ki chamocha kefaro, because you are like Paro. Says Rashi, Chashuv ata be'enai, you are important in my eyes, kimelech, like a king, right? So here, what Yehuda is saying, don't think that when I'm speaking harshly to you, it's because I disrespect you. No, I'm speaking harshly to you because of how strongly I feel about Binyamin. Okay? Very important point. All right. Let's move on now to the next pasuk. Okay. So here we have pasuk Yutet, and now all the way to from pasuk Yutet all the way to pasuk Chavtet. Okay, is Yehuda is going to be repeating the story that led them to this moment. Okay, he's going to be repeating. They originally came down for food, and then they were accused of being spies, and so on and so forth. So, well, he doesn't mention the spy part, but we'll talk about that as well. So let's see. So here it starts. Okay, Adoni Sha'al, my master asked, et avadav lemor, his servants, saying, Hayesh lachem av o ach, do you have a father or a brother? So he says, listen, when we came down originally to buy food, you asked us, do we have a father or a brother? So what did we answer you? Vanomer el Adoni, and we said to my master, Yesh lanu av zaken, we have an older father, v'yeled zikunim katon, and a child of his old age who is young, the youngest, right? Ve'achiv mate, and his brother died, vayivater hu levado, and he alone remained, that he alone remained, meaning Binyamin alone remained, le'imo, to his mother. What does it mean, to his mother? It means that Binyamin was the only one who survives Rachel, because as Yehuda thinks, Binyamin's brother is dead. Binyamin's brother meaning Yosef. Of course, Yehuda doesn't know he's talking to him. So Binyamin alone, ve'aviv ahevo, and his father Ahevo, what's the shorsh of this word? Aleph, He, Vet. And his father loved him, right? His father loves him. So let's see what happens. Vatomer el avadecha, and you said to your servants. So again, Yehuda is repeating what happened the first time they came down without Binyamin. Horiduhu Eli, bring him down to me. Ve'asima eni alav. Ve'asima, what's the shorish? Sim, to place, an I, aleph before is an I, vav aleph, and I will. Sima, I will place, eni, my eye, alav, on him. Wait a minute, what do you mean I'll place my eye on him? It means he's going to see that he exists, to see that he's real. Vanomer el Adoni, and we said to my master, Lo yuchal hana'ar la'azov et aviv, the lad, meaning Binyamin, is not able la'azov et aviv, to leave his father. If you remember, the last time we had this word la'azov was way back, the story of Yosef running out of Potiphar's house, and he left his garment there. Ve'azav et aviv vameit, and if he leaves his father, he will die. So Yehuda says to Yosef, listen, you told us to bring down Binyamin, and we said to you, he can't leave his father, because if he leaves his father, he will die. Now, what's amazing, what's very powerful about this is, think of that sentence. Yehuda tells Yosef, if Binyamin leaves his father Yaakov, then he will die. Who's he? You see, Yehuda is leaving it purposefully. He's leaving it unclear. Okay, a big word in English is he's leaving it ambiguous. Ambiguous means it's not clear, right? Doesn't mean that that if Binyamin leaves his father, that the father will die, or that if Binyamin leaves his father, that Binyamin will die. So Yehuda kind of leaves it out there, and it's like more for Yosef to think about. Oh man, either one of these two people might die. So that's what. So Yehuda says, that's what we told you, right? We told you that we can't just leave. Now Rashi points out a very interesting thing. He says, "Va'azav et aviv amet." If he leaves his father, he will die. Im ya'azav et aviv. If Binyamin leaves his father, doagim anu. We're worried. Shema yamut baderech. That perhaps he will die on the way. Well, why? Sheharei imo baderech meta, because his mother Rachel also died on the way back into Eretz Yisrael. If you remember from Parshat Vayishlach, okay, that you learned in 3rd grade. So let's see what happens. So what does Yosef respond to the brothers? Vatomer el avadecha, and you said to your servants, im lo yered, if he will not go down or come down, achichem hakaton itchem, your youngest brother with you, lo tosifun lirot panai, you will not be able to see my face again. Again, tosifun means again, another time, right? You will no longer be able to see my face, meaning you'll no longer get any chance to meet with me. Now, it's very important to notice that these psukim now, afterwards, are going to be the discussion of Yehuda talking to Yaakov about allowing Binyamin to come down. But if you notice, in the first section, when Yehuda is telling Yosef about the original story, the first time that they came down, he doesn't mention that Yosef accused them of being spies, and he doesn't mention that Shimon was placed in prison. And you can imagine why, right? He doesn't want to remind Yosef. He doesn't want to talk about all those bad things to Yosef, right? You don't want to mention those things when you're about to be judged. Okay, Pasuk Chavdalid. Vayehi ki alinu, and it was when we went up, Ayin Lamed Hey, the Hey is not here, but that's the Shorish, El Abdecha Avi, to your servant my father, Vanaged Lo, and we told him. So here it's interesting, the Nun is part of the Shorish, but the Nun is also and we. Okay? Nun Gimel Dalet is a Shorish for Naged. Usually that Nun is not there when we're using that Shorish. 8, Divrei Adoni, the words of my master. Okay, so we went up, says Yehuda, right? We went up to your servant, my father. Again, Yehuda is saying to Yosef, your servant, my father. So he's making it, okay, he doesn't know who he's talking to, so he's saying, your servant is my father. My father is like your servant, like we're all your servant. We're respectful of you. So we told him, Vanagedlo, we told Yaakov, et divrei Adoni, all the words of my master. My master, again, is Yehuda talking about Yosef, right? He's saying, we told Yaakov all of the things that you told us, that we have to bring back Binyamin if we want to see you again, to get more food. Vayomer Avinu, and our father said, Shuvu, return, Shivru lanu me'at ochel, buy a little food for us. So here what he's saying is, my father obviously originally didn't allow it, but then eventually he said, okay, so we're going to, we need more food, go down to get more food. So what did we say to my father? Vanomer, and we said, Lo nuchal laredet, we will not be able to go down. Im yesh achinu hakaton itanu, if there is our younger brother with us, v'yaradnu, and we will go down. Right? Shoresh Yud Reish Dalid. If he's with us, we can go down. Kilo nuchal, because we are not able. Nun is we, and the Shoresh here is Yachol Yud Chaf Lamed. Lirot pnei ha'ish, to see the man. V'achinu hakaton einenu itanu, and our youngest brother is not with us. So he says, listen, this is again Yehuda is speaking to Yosef about what happened when they asked Yaakov to allow them to bring Binyamin down. He says, Yaakov told us to go, our father told us to come down and get food, and we told him we can't without our younger brother. Vayomer avdecha avi elenu, and your servant, my father, said to us, right? So Yehuda says to Yosef, listen, then our father said to us, Atem yedatem, you know, ki shnayim yaldali ishti, that my wife gave birth to 2 for me, right? That Rachel, my wife Rachel, only had 2 sons. Continue. Vayetze ha'echad me'iti, and the one went out from with me, meaning that's talking about Yosef. Yosef is gone. Va'omar, and I said, ach tarof toraf, he was torn to bits. Ve'lo re'iti vadhena, and I haven't seen him until now, meaning he's been gone for years. Right? This is Yehuda quoting what Yaakov said. Ulekachtem gamedze, and you will take also this one. Now Yaakov continues that Yaakov would have said to Yaakov told Yehuda, and again Yehuda is repeating all of this to Yosef. He says, now you're going to take Binyamin, me'im panai, from before my face, v'karau ason, and a tragedy will happen to him, v'horatem, and you'll bring down et sevati bira'a she'ola, my old age with badness to the grave, meaning, you know what's going to happen if something happens to this second son, Binyamin, when you bring him down? It's gonna put me in the grave. It's gonna kill me that such a terrible thing happened. Okay? And now, finally, we get to Yehuda then wrapping it up and saying, okay, that's the whole story about how we had to really convince our father to bring down Binyamin. But now, and we're not going to do this today, but now, these next Psukim are going to tell us how Yehuda takes all of that information, takes that whole story that he told Yosef, and says, this is the reason you cannot keep Binyamin in prison. So he's trying to make the case by speaking to Yosef's mercy, to his emotions, to try, because logically, right, if you look at the facts seem to be that Binyamin is a thief, even though, of course, he's not, but it seemed like that. So Yehuda realizes there's no other way here to get around this, and the only thing that we're left with is maybe making Yosef feel badly enough for us that he'll either take one of us instead, or maybe release Binyamin. And that's his hope, and we'll continue to hear how he presents that case next class.